Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be working on the Hellcat swapped Dodge Dakota. So some stuff just showed up. Last video we left off, we got the transmission in here, got everything sorted out. Still waiting on a couple more things, but like I said, some stuff did show up. Still waiting on heat wrap, but one of the important things that did show up is our transmission fluid pan, our new hardware, and our filter. So we can get that all good to go. The other thing that did show up is our DOT slicks, and our boy Kyle Tingle from Gauge Performance hooked us up, so I'll link him down below. He hooked us up with those. He ended up making a couple passes on this, seeing if this diameter would work good for his single cab Ram, his 4th gen. So they are as new as they come. As you can see, they are pretty much new. He used them for a couple passes or so, and then he donated them to us since we need DOT legal tires. They're essentially the exact same tire as we have on here, only difference being that these ones are not DOT and don't have those tiny little grooves in it. So they're both bias ply. I think these ones are actually a tiny bit taller. These are 28s, I believe, and I think I have 26s. So the taller tire will actually probably be a little bit better for us because we have kind of too much gear right now. Yeah, so these are 26s and these are 28s. So they look almost identical, but just a tiny bit taller. So once they kind of balloon out, I'm sure. So I have two more of these rims, thankfully. So I have two more of these Dakota 15s, and I can keep those on those rims, and then the other two I'll put them on this. So and we still have these, so we're gonna have like NASCAR style, well, it's not NASCAR since they're not doing drags, but we're gonna have like a bunch of different wheel setups that we can rotate through, so it should be pretty good. All right, let's get to work. I haven't started it or haven't done any of that. I'm gonna double check what the fluid level is on the transmission, and I kind of just want to make sure it works, cycle it through the gears a little bit, and then once I do that, then I'm gonna dump the old fluid, change the filter, put the new gasket on, and then we'll fill the thing completely up with fluid. So all right guys, so it's a little bit later, and I just went ahead, pulled that fill bolt out. Nothing trickled out, so I don't want to waste a ton of new fluid on this. Like I said, I was gonna maybe start it with the existing fluid in it, but I think since it's not full, I don't want to put new fluid in and waste it. So I'm gonna go ahead, we'll drop the drain bolt, and then once it finishes draining whatever's in here, then we're going to take out all these Torx screws. Again, the pan on the 90 is aluminum and reusable. We're just going to change the gasket and the filter inside once we get this off. So let's go ahead and drain it and get that thing off. All right, well, pan's off, you guys. Let's color the fluid. Like I said, it's a Hellcat. It's definitely been driven as one, but I think we should be in decent shape. Again, this has 54,000 miles on it, just to give you guys an idea of the color of this lifetime fluid. So they do claim it's lifetime, but I wouldn't trust it. So here's the gasket. It's coming off. I'm gonna throw the new filter on there, drain out the rest of the oil, clean the pan, and should be pretty easy to throw back up here. Okay, pan is back on. We got all our bolts tight, and our new drain bolt is in there and tight as well. So they do supply all new hardware when you get the Mopar kit. So a new drain bolt, new fill bolt, and new bolts to go around. The torque sequence on this is really weird, so I prefer to go by feel sometimes. They wanted to do 35 inch-pounds plus 45 degrees. I tried putting an extra 45 on it, and I really didn't like the feel of it, so I didn't quite get to the 45 before I didn't like how tight it was getting, so I'm pretty good with that stuff. So I went ahead and just went by feel with the smaller ratchet instead of the longer torque wrench. So anyways, this is all good, it's all tight. I'm gonna go ahead and start filling this thing with fluid. Once it starts trickling out of here, then we can start it and keep filling. So all OEM stuff. So you can see 8-9 speed automatic transmission fluid specifically for the ZF. You can use this one, it's literally the exact same stuff. So this one here, Lifeguard Fluid 8, also ZF, so the makers of the transmission. So either one, exact same stuff. Usually whatever you can find it cheaper for, but I'm going to be putting all these bottles in, so just the Mopar one, just to keep everybody happy, but this is the same stuff, just so you know. Okay, so we've got it trickling out, as you can hopefully see, so we're going to go ahead and cap it. And we're definitely going to have to add a lot more fluid, but it's going to have to be running in order for that to happen, so we'll cap it. As soon as we start it, she's going to eat a bunch of fluid. Once that pump starts going, it starts filling the converter, and everything. So there's a very specific process on this. I'm not going to outline it on this video. If you guys are curious, check out my 8-speed fluid change videos, and I go into it in depth on that. So yeah, if you guys really want to know how to do this, check out that video. It goes step by step exactly how I do it. Okay, so let's put the truck down, and now is the moment of truth. Hopefully everything works. So let's go ahead, we'll put this down enough so that I can get in it to start it, but I still have to be able to get underneath it to check the fluid. So I'm kind of gonna have to keep it at a decent height so I can run in and out. So let's get her done. Okay, so I got my Mopar fluid there. I can sneak in under there enough so that I can keep pumping fluid in. And here we go, guys. This is, I don't know why I should be nervous about this, but just after everything, it's a lot. Plus it's late, because I've been, like, you can see how dark it is outside. Like I said, I've been working late since it's so freaking hot out lately. But we'll start it up and hopefully everything works out good. All right, guys, well, here we go. Like I said, she hasn't been started since all the nonsense. Back alive. So I gotta go over to transmission temperature 95, so I can start the procedure now. So I had to go down there and start putting fluid in it. As expected, there's gonna be a lot of smoke off of everything, unfortunately. There's gonna be all that stuff that got on the headers and everything. But nothing to be alarmed about there. Let me get some fluid in this thing. Alright guys, so it runs. We're gonna have to still test some stuff out, but it is midnight right now, so I'm gonna call it a night. It's been a long day once again for me. So I'm definitely exhausted, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, we'll have to see. Like I said, I'm kind of thinking a little bit more like, I really have to make sure that this truck is 100%. If it's not 100%, even 110%, I know there's no such thing, but I'm gonna make sure that this thing is ready to go, because there's no point in driving 36 hours if I don't have 100% confidence in this thing. So it's just, there's so much that's been, you know, the truck is so freshly built. You know, we've had it all in pieces again, all that stuff. We haven't had any time to test it because we were waiting on parts to show up. So I really only, like, today's Wednesday, I gotta leave in, you know, 3 days if I want to try to do this thing. So I've only got a few days to test it. I mean, like I said, things could go really well, but at the same time, I don't want to rush things and potentially break things again. So it is what it is. I'm kind of like coming to that realization, but maybe it's just late, maybe I'm just tired. We'll see how she goes in the morning, but I'll catch you guys in the morning. Okay guys, so it's the next day. So we're gonna see if this thing works, and then I'll show you guys what else is going on. Okay, so right now I have the fan just cooling everything off because, like I said, ambient temps right now, outside temperatures, it's like 106 or 109 out, so it is like stupid hot out. So even to be able to work on this thing would take hours, but luckily we have that big fan so we can cool this thing down. Some stuff just showed up. So I did mention that I got one of these Kevlar transmission blankets. I do no longer trust these transmissions, so I'm gonna be putting this around the transmission, so this it's like a bulletproof vest for your transmission, so if it decides to self-destruct, at least not going to throw shrapnel all over the place. So we got that. I did want to get a Jegs one. Actually, I should say something different. I ordered a Jegs one, and Jegs somehow canceled my order on me, so then I had to scramble and get this one. I do still want the Jegs one because it looks a little bit more beefy than this one, but it really depends if we end up going to the track. If we do, then I'll slap this on. It just held on by a couple straps and stuff like that, but the Jegs ones, the straps looked way more beefy than these ones. This stuff looks really thin to me, but I guess it is SFI certified, so it's got all the tags and stuff wherever it is on the other side. So it is SFI certified. This is a Ramjet racing products. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but the Jegs one looked a little cooler. The other thing that showed up, and it looked beefier, the other thing that did show up was our heat wrap. So I got this, I'll link this down in the description if you guys want to check this out. I've done this before. You kind of just wrap it around. Comes with these steel tie wraps, and you just go around and around and around. Super boring, but that's what I'm going to do right now for where the exhaust kind of passes around the drive shaft, just because I don't want too much heat going around our drive shaft. So I'm going to wrap all that stuff. I'm just going to whip right through it and see what else we can get done, because I got a lot to do. I also have this little tool. I've used it before, but I just keep it in the box so I don't lose it. So this is so that you can actually get those tie wraps super tight. It has a slit in it. You kind of cork it around. So plus it gives it a really professional finish. So I'll show you guys when I use that. So check this out, guys. So I've got it done here, and these are the clamps that I was telling you about. So that's the way it looks. And I just keep all my spacing even in the corners, because you can see there's a bend here. It's usually gonna be tighter on the inside a little bit. That way you're not spreading it out too far on the back. So it's kind of just the way you go. I kind of go about halfway, wrap it, you know, halfway around on my spacing. Other than that, I have this drive shaft loop in here that I've used on the Ram last time, but this drive shaft is pretty large, so I don't really feel comfortable with the amount of clearance it's gonna have and this style of drive shaft loop. So I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is ordering a different one. So we're not running, I guess when you run a full slick, like that's not DOT rated, then you have to have the drive shaft loop, but technically I don't need it just yet. So like I said, I don't want to drill holes through the floor and bolt this one up when it's so close to touching. So I'm gonna have to get a different one. So for now, I don't think we're gonna be installing a drive shaft loop just yet. Okay, so the blanket fits. Only thing is this transmission is so long that this is a 12-inch blanket, and the transmission keeps going. So I'm not sure if I should get a longer one, but at least I know that this will fit around, and I could make it work if I need to. All right, guys. Well, it's a little bit later. Well, a lot bit later. It's almost midnight. It's like 11 something. But I'm still working on this thing. If you guys can't tell, I'm getting pretty mentally and physically drained and exhausted from this, but trying to make it happen. What I am doing right now, so just to let you guys know, I'm still having a bit of a starting issue. I'm not sure if I mentioned it with you guys yet, but I'll elaborate further because I just did some stuff. Whenever it's super hot outside, this thing has a hard time starting. It cranks real fast, but it won't fire. Like, I'm talking like, you know, stupid hot out. So it only did it when it was really hot over there when I was out on the road, and then you know, traveling and stuff. And then it's been doing it today when it was hot out, when it was like 109 out. You know, you start it starts fine when the engine's cold, and you let it run for a little bit, and the truck gets up to temperature, and then you go to start it again, and it just cranks and cranks and cranks, but won't fire. And it's turning over fast when it does it. Apparently there's a recall on 2019 Chargers, so it kind of falls into the category of this. Then they end up doing some sort of update to the PCM to resolve it. So kind of been making some contacts on whether we're going to do that. I found a guy that apparently can try to flash this thing on Saturday if need be. That's one thing. I added a bunch of ground straps. I just added a bunch more. 3 more to be exact. 3 more or 2 more? Anyways, I don't know. I added at least 2 more. I went from that main ground over there to the frame. I already have one on the passenger side from the cab to the frame, and I added another one from the driver's side from the cab to the frame. I tried to see if it'll act up, but it's not as hot out now since it's, as you can see, dark out, and it's not doing it. So either it's fixed or it's because it's not hot enough out and it's not getting hot enough to act up. So should be able to test that again tomorrow. If it doesn't act up all day tomorrow, then maybe that might have just been the grounds. Also, I did get a buddy to kind of look at the tune as well. I'll give him a shout out. I guess I'll have to talk to him, see if he wants to be shouted out, and also if it resolves it, because there's some weird stuff in the stock mapping, like when it goes above, I think 158 degrees intake air temperatures, it puts it in a really weird spot of the map. Like, it cuts a ton of injector pulse width, and it cuts a ton of timing, I think. So it's basically just, I don't know, it's pretty weird on the stock mapping. So we might be getting into those areas since it's like extreme heat right now. So Anyways, enough talking about that. What I am gonna do right now before I call it a night is this brake booster. I've told you guys this is the original Dakota brake booster. When I tried putting the Hellcat booster on here with the stock Dakota brakes, it wasn't a good combo. It didn't seem to have any braking power. But now that we have Brembo brakes, which the Hellcat did originally come with, and we've converted the rear to disc brakes, I want to try and put that Hellcat Master back on and see if it doesn't work better than this one as far as our stopping power. So, because this one seems to be a little bit underpowered for these Brembos on the truck, so I'm gonna try it out. It's again a lot of work. I have the other Master and booster over here. These are the lines that I made up last time to fit it. I think honestly, the last time I tried it, I kind of messed up. I think I put the ports backwards. Most of these vehicles are the front port. You would assume that it goes to the front, but it doesn't. So this port goes to the rear, that port goes to the front. So they're actually reversed. And the last time I did that, I think I messed up and had them opposite. So I think I had the front to the front and the rear to the rear, and that might have been part of the problem. So I'm gonna try it again. I might have to adjust those lines a little bit, and I'll let you guys know. So I'm just so tired. So now I gotta lay under there, take off this Master with the booster, put that one back on, make the lines work, and then bleed it before I can even see if my idea works. And if it doesn't work, then I gotta put everything back and then bleed it again. So that's how I feel right now. All right, well, all the bolts are loose on this. I took off the 2 lines there, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. So I'm gonna take this out, and then I'll get the other one in here, and I gotta probably mess with the lines a little bit, but hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. Well, it's the next day, and I got this on last night. So our booster and our Master's on, and I got the plumbing done in the correct fashion. So this one goes to the rear, this one goes to the front, and it's all ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and bleed it, and then I'll let you guys know. The bleeding part's kind of boring a little bit, but when you have one of those tools, makes it much easier. So you hook up the air compressor to it, and it just pulls a vacuum on everything, and you just run around. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, get that done. That way I can let you guys know if this works and wrap up this video. Garage is an absolute disaster right now because I'm just nailing through all these different tasks that need to be done. Okay guys, so a lot has happened today, but I haven't fully documented it because like I said, I've just been trying to put my head down and get a lot of this stuff done, as you guys can probably understand. So ended up bleeding the brakes with the Hellcat Master cylinder, and the brakes are a step above from what they were before for sure. So with having the Hellcat Master cylinder and the brake booster, it really woke up these Brembos, because now it bites hard and a lot better braking than it did before. So now it's starting to feel like we have Brembos on it. Couple small things that I'm thinking. The back brakes still don't seem like they are at their full potential. I'm kind of thinking, and I was looking at the lines, the factory line that goes to those rear brakes and then splits into 2 is tiny, like tiny. So I'm kind of thinking that we probably need to bump up the rear brake line at some point. Right now it obviously stops, but I think to get the best braking potential out of those rear calipers, we definitely need to improve the line. I'd be really curious to know, maybe you guys already know if you guys have been messing with these things for a while, but how much bigger the brake line is or isn't with the factory rear disc brake version of these trucks. I'd be willing to bet that they have a bigger line running to the rear, because just for reference, I don't know if you guys can see this, but here's a line running to the rear. One of these front lines is probably the same size or bigger than the one that is shared going all the way to the back, if you guys can put that into perspective. So it's almost like we're way underpowered, or we have not enough line going to the back. So that's one thing, but it does, like I said, it does stop really good with having the full force going to those Brembos in the front. Other thing I did do, again off camera, just getting stuff done, is I got these mounted. So we got these mounted on here. These were the ones from Kyle Tingle at Gauge Performance. I'll link him. Thanks again for him to giving us these. So these are the DOT rated slicks. So I guess just because they have that on them means they're DOT rated. These rims are super ugly, so I'm gonna end up painting these. The other ones don't look that bad. If you guys know well, I don't have them on right now because I got the 18s back on here, the SRT wheels. But if you guys have seen my other ones, they look pretty decent just painted up. So tomorrow I'm gonna clean these up. I'll give them a nice paint job, and they should look pretty decent. So I'll clean those up tomorrow, but you guys aren't really missing much. So far, testing is going half decent. So I still haven't gone for a full send, but just testing stuff. I think I may have fixed the starting issue that I showed you guys. Added some more ground straps. It's not as hot, so unfortunately I'm not able to mirror the exact conditions, but so far it hasn't acted up, so let's cross our fingers on that. But I have some options for that. If it still doesn't fix it, like I said, I have somebody helping me out with the tune if it happens to be the tune, or I might go get this thing flashed with a factory flash from a Dodge dealership, because there is some fixes that apparently are to do with some of that stuff. So that's pretty much it, you guys. I'm gonna wrap up the video here. That way you guys can get an update on this, because it's been a few days, I think. And I also want to get some food and some rest and start the day fresh again tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your support so far. Right now, I think it's like a 50-50 whether I'm gonna go to Roadkill or not. I do want to obviously make it, but again, I don't want to rush it and risk breaking everything. We've already done that once. So, I mean, the other thing is my buddy said maybe we could go there and do like a half send, but it's not really my style. So, you know, if we just go there and use it as our test, and if things feel weird, you know, we get out of it, get out of the pedal. But it's not really my style to do that, but I guess it might be good exposure just to get there and be there anyways. So comment down below, would you guys go there and half send it, you know, and use it as a testing, you know, session for us, an expensive one at that, but at least there'll be a lot of eyes on the truck and a lot of exposure and maybe make some new contacts? Or would we just hang back and, you know, trying to shake down the truck here and make sure it's perfect? So comment which way you would go down below. Like I said, right now I'm 50-50. Hopefully tomorrow goes well. If everything goes well tomorrow, I think I might be able to go. So right now there's nothing stopping us other than me giving it a full send pass and hoping that everything stays together. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Again, give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this series and this content. We'll see you guys in the next video.